out of a 2-0 goal. They tie it on a power play in the third, and then unfortunately 2 more. Thoughts on the game?
I thought we did some good things in the first 2 periods. In the first period alone, we gave up like 1 scoring chance against. Obviously our penalty kill. It's been a little bit of an Achilles heel here over the last, I'd say 4 to 5 weeks. We haven't been able to identify why. I think, Jesse Messier does a great job with it. But again, it cost us 2 goals tonight. 2 goals against Wheeling. 1 goal against Toledo the other day. It's just it's one of those things that it can either be a weapon or it can be a crutch, and right now it's a crutch for us. But I thought our 5-on-5 game was good. Obviously in the third it got a little opened up, but proud of the way the guys battled and competed and didn't give up right to the end. I mean, that's kind of been our calling card the entire season.
Speaking of the penalties, Dadajanov had the penalty in the third. Did you get an explanation as to why he was the only one who was penalized on that play?
Yeah, we talked about that internally. I think the refs missed it. In a situation like that where you make a hit and then someone comes and wraps their arms around you, and then I think even someone else came in after that, and it's like, he's got to protect himself. How does he know if the other guy dropped his gloves or not? So he dropped his gloves, okay, but the other guy didn't. But the fact that the guy, I think it was 1 or 2 guys get in there, they probably could have evened it out. But, I talked to the ref about it, and he already made up his decision, and we just got to live with it. And it goes back to what I said to earlier. Teams are going to take penalties. It's your penalty kill that's got to be able to, kind of dig you out of those situations, and we just continue to fall short in that area.
Last question, the return of Yannick Peretz today. 45 shots against, 41 saves. How do you feel about his game as he's returned?
Yeah, Yanni's an ultimate competitor. He won a national championship at Quinnipiac. He's got that championship mentality. He's obviously been working incredibly hard to put himself back in that situation where he can get back into the net. And I got all the respect in the world for him. I don't think Yanni was the issue tonight. I think, again, like I said, it was more of our penalty kill and then some of our decision making away from the puck.
Coach, we've talked about a variety of players throughout the course of the season, and I don't think I've asked you enough about Lee. I mean, just his ability to turn, throw his body into the shot, and make goals like that consistently. Just what do you see from him to enable him to make these goals so effortlessly?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's his athleticism. He's a real strong guy. He's very strong on his skates. He's an ultimate competitor. He does shoot it well. He's got a nose for the net. He's one of those like prototypical goal scorer type of players. Again, I can't say enough about him. Obviously, he scored some huge goals for our group. Even on that last one, I think you got to give Boyer credit too. He stood in front of the net, and every time we put, Josh Boyer with Mats and Lee, they don't need a lot of shifts together to get on the scoreboard. So, yeah, he's him and Mats have found some chemistry early on, and we continue to ride him all season, and they've been huge difference makers for our group.